me, he's going to be a good rider in the mountains, which will come towards the end of this race. There's Placido Valdez in the blue Adidas Sprint Leaders jersey, flexing his muscles there and loosening himself up, because no doubt he wants to be first home today. Now the weather is again sunny and very hot, with a light wind blowing, fairly high humidity. A large crowd, we expect big crowd today with a cycling popular area. The attacks have gone right from the gun again, and it's our under-23 rider Bernard Luzon who's making the first move. He's been very aggressive there. He too has a good reason there, because he too lives not far away from the finish.
Yes indeed, in practice from China Nardo in Leva Isia town just outside. Oh, look at this. What has happened here, Bill?
Well, this is a mass pile up here. Some 7 or 8 riders have gone down. Tangrieg is one of them. And this is one of the Japanese riders. I think it's Wang, who is looking for the spare wheel. They're getting away, so it's purely a clash of wheels. Nobody injured, but they've got a nasty chase on their hands to rejoin the main field. We've moved back up to the leading group here, which is 4 riders strong and trying to pull themselves together. Enrique Domingo is in this group. This is Jesse Bacudo from the Northern Luzon squad. And another crash, and this time Carlo Yasul, and I think the report is he collided with a dog.
And that is exactly what they're talking about right now.
Well, this is a sad time. This is because Carlo was quite high up on the overall classification. He's a member of the national Philippines team. So while we look at number 23 there, Enrique Domingo, it's his teammate Yasul who is on the floor and waiting now for a little bit of assistance. Anyway, this breakaway is being brought back. It went to just after 11 kilometers. It hasn't lasted more than a couple of kilometers. And it's the Chinese team who are bringing the race all together again. So a little bit of a regroupment. And another rider in trouble at the back of the puncher. This time it is Bayuga who's had a flat tire on a rough stretch of road here. It looks like a slip change. In goes the wheel, tighten up the skewer, and Bayuga should be okay. He'll get back in because the convoy of cars hasn't passed him, so he should work his way back up to the race. Randy Oka, the next attacker, well, they're having no piece of the front or the back of the race today.
Speaking of the Mindanao squad, we had a chat with our team captain, Rex Reyes. We know, they're hoping that they can eventually get a sponsor that can help them out in their training. And, they have to work for a living also, and it makes it difficult to concentrate on cycling as well.
It certainly does, but Randy made his move, and now these are the leaders, and every little village you pass through, there are plenty of them along this back road, are all out in force to cheer the riders through.
Security forces done a marvelous job of clearing these very tight streets. When you pass through them on normal routes on normal days, you may not be able to see such a clear road.
No, it is extremely difficult in the Philippines because of so much traffic, and so far this race getting through nicely. These are the 8 leaders: Randy Oka, Jesse Bacudo, Felix Celeste, Federico Cruz, Enrico Domingo, Bernard Luzon, Noel Rossley, and Edwin Bayuga. That's the composition, and that's the other sprint taken out again by Enrico Domingo. He's on form today. Bayuga gets second this time, and again third place going to Oka.
Looks like the leaders in our sprints category are not exactly in the race, at least for the time being. As we take a look at the peloton, and as usual, the tugboat is stowing away the big ship.
Absolutely, and number 1 is probably the big ship, I think, because that's last year's defending champion in 4th wheel. But the gap, it's taking a while, but it is stretching. It's a minute 13 now, and this breakaway has been on for a while.
Half of the race is already done, and of course, these parts, there are watermelons all around. I think it's time for one as we go into this race. On the road, we welcome you back to the Marlboro Tour for 1998. Philippines at this time of the year is usually twice the time, I guess. We pass through
I've seen a lot of people work very hard to do all the silver streamers across the road here. The town looks really pretty today. These are the 8 leaders, and this is the chasing bunch. They're really working very hard to limit that escape. We're some 70 kilometers into the race now, and the gap isn't very big at all. Valdez has tried a number of times to get away from this field and try and join the leaders, but the pack is having none of it today. Well, this is a sad sight because this is the man that started that move very early on today, Randy Oka, and this is his reward, a black back tyre, and he's lost contact with the front runner. So there are now only 7, and this is Bernard Luzon. Looks like he's a bit heavy with the suntan lotion.
Oh, yes, indeed. And Luzon has a 15-second lead over Ryan Magalig in the best young rider competition. He has been steady in the tournament. By the way, he's on the way home. He is from San Leonardo, just outside Cabanatuan in Nueva Ecija.
Back on his way here is Oscar. There's a little group of 2 riders. No, the whole field have got him in sight. So he's, I'm afraid, being dispatched back into the peloton. And that is really sad because there are now 7 men up front. And with such a long way to go, that extra wheel would have been useful, I think. 7 riders. Luzon is the rider in the all-red Nueva Ecija strip. And these riders are making good move. On his wheel is Federico Cruz, the Pangasinan rider just in front. Oh, sprinting for the sprint and shot out of the bunch. Luzon, he saw the flag, but indeed, again, Enrique Domingo has seen the point and he's gone. And he's so quick. He won this competition overall last year, and he's now working his way up towards the leaderboard as well, because he's now won all 3 of them in the day so far. There's no more, so he is now up to 3rd place overall in the Adidas Sprint competition. Valdez is still the leader, Kirimit is 2nd, and Domingo comes in now in 3rd.
Valdez has made no headway in that category, but we are just 50 kilometers away from the finish with this breakaway. We have no direction as of the moment.
No, because for some strange reason we keep getting reports that the Philippine national team are racing hard at the front of the race to try and keep this breakaway in their sight. I think a better tactic would have been to allow this move to escape, because they have their teammate Domingo here, and clearly he's sprinting well today. Now that's Celeste, he's the next man to punch it from this group, so it's getting weaker by the minute. Celeste, a very strong rider indeed from Pangasinan, and that means now we are down to 6 front runners, because I don't know if Celeste can get back. It depends how quick his wheel change is. This is the group anyway, trying to get up now. 2 riders trying to bridge the gap. Noli Del Rosario, and the other rider is Neil Corliss, also from the Chia team. There's the distance back to the peloton, so they're about 20 seconds away, I would think. And they're in the peloton, number 1, Juan Campo. I think he's looking for a drink and doesn't seem to have too much interest in the escape either.
A lot of people are asking me, Phil, when is he going to make any move? Are we being impatient, or is he being patient?
I'm not sure he's feeling too good in this race right now, because the gap has gone out to 1 minute 43. He loves the mountains, they're still to come of course, but he's losing so much time on these flatter stages. But look at this is Felix Celeste, who's just come back from that punter. He got a good wheel change and a very good chase back. Henry Mayuga, his Pangasinan teammate there, just taking him up to the tail of the breakaway. So again, we are 7 strong at the front, and that might prove the turning point now of this breakaway. It might survive to the finish. These riders though have got other ideas, because setting the pace here is Noli Del Rosario, and with him is Neil Corliss. They are making progress up towards the leaders, so they may get there yet, and they're pulling away too from the main field. So it looks hopeful. This has been a very good race today, because nobody has allowed that leading group to escape. There's been a lot of racing done from behind, a huge crowd along the route as well, and all passing little water bags up to the riders. One Malaysian rider who seems to be having a tough time of it at the back of this race at the moment is Rossley. He was our early leader in the King of the Mountains competition when we were on the island of Cebu. Another group was trying to go away from the main field. They jumped past Pan, the Chinese rider, and Placido Valdez. Again, he's in this route. He's the one with the blue jersey at the back, Seb, and he has been looking for a way to get out of this pack. Coming up to join them at a very fast rate of knots, Manuel Mendoza. Now, if these 4 get together, they might pick up those 2 up the road, and then there will be 6 in contention to catch the leaders. It's still possible. The 2 riders there with Valdez. Back up with the leaders, and they are looking over the shoulders, not as coordinated as they were.
Yes, and we are just half a kilometer away from the Centennial Sprint. If you're joining us for the first time, this is our special feature for the Centennial Tour at the 100-kilometer mark.
Well, back to the second chasing group. 1 minute 13 seconds is the gap, and the other two riders are both from Central Luzon. So 4 riders now have a real good chance of reaching those leaders, and it will come, if it comes at all, so very close to the finish.